Good morning. My name is Roland Smart, and I'm here from Oracle, where I run the social marketing effort. And I'm here today to help to share with you the vision that Oracle has created for the social enterprise, and also to share the accompanying framework that we use to help you understand where you are on the spectrum of social enablement. And before I jump into the presentation, I just have to share this slide about our safe harbor statement. What I'm going to share today is general information rather than specific product information. So why are we talking about the socially enabled enterprise, and why is it top of mind? The answer is, and this shouldn't be news to anybody here, that consumers are spending all of their time on social. 1 in 7 humans are on Facebook, and even more are using other social networking solutions. So this is where we're spending time connecting with our friends, our family, and talking about what's most important in our lives. And as we spend time on social channels, we're talking about brands. We're talking about the brands that we interact with, because brands are part of the very personal experiences that we have in the world. And we know that 58% of people who are on Facebook are mentioning a brand in a post. Almost 40% of folks on Twitter are mentioning a company. But even with all that social interaction that's happening through social channels, and with all the increased engagement that we're seeing there, marketers still don't really fully understand how to engage with consumers there. 70% of marketers are still working to figure this out and to bring better solutions into their enterprises. So that's why we're all talking about this topic today, and that's why we see this as a very, very important topic for the enterprise. Now, if you think about the way that companies have engaged with consumers to date, what we've seen primarily is point solutions that they use to engage with consumers on a channel. So that might be something like a tool to manage a Facebook application. It might be a tool to manage conversations through Twitter. It might be a tool for listening to the conversation broadly across the social web. But those point solutions haven't really been integrated together into a system that an enterprise can really use to engage with their consumers over time. So at Oracle, we've built something called SRM, or Social Relationship Management. And it's a collection of solutions. It's a full set that work together to allow you to manage your relationship, both externally with consumers, but also internally with your own team. So SRM is really the technology set that we offer that allows you to socially enable your enterprise. But the technology is just one piece. The other piece that has to go along with it is a set of practices that allows you to essentially unlock the potential of the technology and your potential to connect more effectively with consumers and also with your internal teams. So let's look at the consumer side to start, because that's really where social marketing and social technology has exploded. And if we look at the consumer journey that they have with your enterprise, it can be a pretty circuitous path, sometimes fragmented. In the best case, it's consistent and very compelling, but it can move across touch points. So you might start on the web, go to mobile, go into a retail store, interact with direct, and after you've made a purchase, you might interact with customer service. SRM is essentially a layer of technology that allows you to make those different touch points consistent and social. And that's very powerful. As customers engage with you across channels, we're learning about them, and they're learning about our products. And we're enriching what is really a social graph, an internal social graph. As we learn more about customers and we enrich that graph, we have the opportunity to present them with more relevant information because we know about them and we know how they're interacting with our brands through social. If you think about this social data set, it really completes the set of data that we have about our community and the folks that we engage with externally. So we're really taking social data and marrying it with enterprise data as part of our SRM solution. When you do that and you're able to deliver personalized experiences, you build trust because the folks you're engaging with see that you understand who they are and that you're delivering relevant messages to them. As you build trust, they're more willing to engage with you. And the more interactions you have with them, the more opportunities you have to shape their behavior. And that's where things get really interesting for enterprises, because when you shape their behavior, you have an opportunity to change the way they think about your products, change the way they purchase your products. And on the internal use case, right, so we've been talking about consumers, when you think about applying the same technology inside of your company, it's also about helping you motivate your employees and perform in an optimal state and really impact the bottom line. So when we think about the application of social technology, it's really come into the enterprise through the marketing function, right? This is where social technology has been popularized. But now it's moving across the enterprise. There's a natural transition from social marketing into social sales and customer support. But more broadly, we're seeing social technology now moving across the enterprise into things like human capital management, things like internal collaboration tools, and further extensions of social selling. So as we engage across these different areas of the enterprise, we're really connecting these different silos with our SRM solution. And that's the technology that underlays the sort of social-enabled enterprise. So along with this shift, where we're using social technology to connect silos across the organization, we're also moving from what could be thought of as a transactional framework to an engagement framework. And as we make that transition, we can go from single-channel experiences to multi-touchpoint experiences. We can shift from one-off executions to systematic ongoing programs that drive engagement. We can shift from having to be opportunistic to really thinking about return on investment over the longer term with the campaigns that we're running. We can move from monitoring to really taking action on what we hear. And we can move from thinking about fans and followers to thinking about really building a community and building our brand. That process, that shift from transactional to engagement, I think can also be represented as a cycle. I like to call this the virtuous cycle of social engagement. And it really starts with listening and understanding your consumer and your internal employee, and then creating experiences that engage them and connect with them. As you do that and you have more interactions with them, you learn about what resonates with them, and they learn about your products and services and what your goals are. That allows you, in turn, to optimize and then start this cycle again. And this is really an engine of innovation for the enterprise, both internally and externally. So that's the background about SRM and social enablement at your enterprise. Now I want to share the framework. And this is something that we've developed at Oracle to help our customers think about where they are in the maturity model, essentially, of social enablement. And it really starts with the first phase, which is experimentation. And the focus area tends to be the marketing discipline. And as I mentioned at the top, there tends to be a focus on point solutions. And it's really about proving the value inside of the enterprise that social can really drive business results. Once you've done that, we see a transition to the second phase, which is the demonstration phase. And here, the focus area expands to include some other areas outside of marketing. Typically, it will be sales. And from a platform perspective, we're still using point solutions, but we're integrating some points between those solutions rather than putting in a platform, an integration platform yet. And what we're demonstrating at this point is not the value in a particular area, but we're showing that there's additional value that you can unlock with social technology when you drive that technology across silos, across marketing and sales functions. With that business value having been proven, the next phase is really about integration. And this is where SRM comes into play in a really, really meaningful way. Here, you're starting to invest in a platform, that layer of social technology, which is going to support social enablement and growth over the long term. There's also now an opportunity to start extending some of the social technology and social practices beyond just sales and marketing into other areas of your organization. And the focus goes beyond marketing and sales to overall customer experience, right? The next step is about scale. Now we've created a more consistent customer experience, and that's an external facing process. We're going to take that and we're going to extend it both internally and further externally, and scale the implementation of the integration layer that we've created, SRM, to human capital management, to our internal collaboration tools, an internal social network, and so on. And finally, the last phase of social enablement, which is really where I think the leading enterprises are aspiring to go, is around optimization. Here you have both the SRM layer in place, but also a rich set of practices that allow you to unlock the power of social across the enterprise. And you're very focused at this point on spreading social enablement to the furthest reaches of your organization and really being a leader in the space. With optimization, obviously, comes a focus on business impact. So that's an overview of the framework that we use as we work with our customers. And we typically engage in a three-step process where we'll start learning with you about where you are. We'll do an inventory of both the technology investments you've made, but also the investments you've made in practices. And we'll do an assessment together, and then we'll typically work together to present a roadmap and define the path forward to more fully enable your enterprise. So that's the framework. I hope it's helpful to you as you think about where you are on the spectrum, and you think about applying the interesting sort of new technology that makes social enablement possible. So thanks for your time. If you have questions about this framework or about how we can apply it at your enterprise, feel free to tweet me at rsmartx, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks for your time.